Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Mentors Show. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are watching us from. It is the Mentors Show. Welcome. How has your day been? How has your day been? Welcome. It's the Mentors Show. For those of you watching us on Facebook, did something on my account, so we can only be seen on LinkedIn, and of course our YouTube channel at Africa Coaching and Mentorship YouTube channel. So let us know where you are joining us from. Welcome. My intro. Before the intro, let's have our music first. Great. Those of you on LinkedIn, welcome.
You are who you are.
Yesterday, today and forevermore.
What you say is what you do. You never fail, you never change. You are faithful to me. Faithful God, I worship you. I worship you. You are too faithful to fail me. You are too faithful to disappoint me. You've proven yourself in my life, and I've come to realize you are too faithful to fail me. You are too faithful to fail me. Oh, Jesus, you are too faithful to disappoint me. You ruin yourself in my life, and I've come to realize you are too faithful to fail
Good evening, Mozi Giedan. Good evening. Welcome to the Mentors Show. It's the Mentors Show, and on the Mentors Show is we have road tip, introduction.
Strap yourself in because we're set up, switched on, and ready to go.
Hello, welcome. I'm Dr. Olushola Ajide, your host on the Mentors Show, where we inspire you, help you reinvent yourself, and to make a positive impact in your community, in your country, and on your continent. We mentor people across Africa. We bring you guests with inspiring life stories who are themselves transformation agents, making a positive change in their profession and nations. Subscribe to the African Coaching and Mentorship Initiative YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter.
Yep, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Mentor Show. For those of you who are joining us on LinkedIn, welcome. Those on Facebook, Facebook is down now, so you can move over to YouTube, the Africa Coaching and Mentorship YouTube channel, to join our session today. And of course, those of you are here on LinkedIn, those who are on Instagram, yes, we are here. So it's a great one tonight. So we are having a great session of tonight. And tonight we continue on mapping Africa's natural resources, looking at ensuring that we're able to map, we're able to know what are those resources that are available on the continent of Africa. And like you know, like I've said severally, at the beginning of this series of looking at Africa's natural resources, it's trying to bring to the fore, or to your knowledge, the opportunities that are there. The opportunities that are there on the continent of Africa. Because whatever we see in all the nations that we have looked at on the continent, whatever challenges, we say they are not actual challenges, but they are opportunities. They are opportunities for citizens of Africa, and of course, all the well-wishers of Africa, to help to tackle, to help to solve the problem that is available on the continent. And you know, when we talk about looking at Africa, we've looked at several countries: Algeria, Angola, Benin, Botswana, Burundi, just to mention a few, Djibouti. We've been going from, in an alphabetical order, from Algeria. We've gone all the way up to Ghana, Guinea-Bissau, Kenya, Lesotho, Liberia, Libya, Madagascar, Malawi, Mali, Mauritania, Mauritius, Morocco, Mozambique, Namibia, Nigeria, both Rwanda, and we've looked at Sao Tome and Principe. We've looked at Senegal. We've looked at Seychelles. And now today, last week was Seychelles, and today, which is nation number 43, we are looking at Sierra Leone. So if you're from Sierra Leone and you are watching this session tonight, you are joining us tonight, it's great to have you here on the show. And if you are watching a replay of this, it's a great one to have you tonight. We are looking at mapping Africa's natural resources, focusing on nation number 43. I know we are counting down, isn't it, up to the number of nations that we have on the continent. So today we are looking at Sierra Leone. Now, Sierra Leone is a country that is called officially the Republic of Sierra Leone, and this country is on the south coast. It's a country that is in the southwest coast of the West Africa, and it's bordered by Liberia and Guinea to the north, and its land area is 71,740 kilometers. So that's a tropical climate and environment ranging from the savanna to the rainforest. So when it comes to population of the population of Sierra Leone, this nation is 8 million plus, 8.606 million as of 2022. Of course, you know that population of the nation would definitely be on the rise. When it comes to the flag, you could see from, I've not shown for those on LinkedIn to see what you are looking at, for those on LinkedIn to see, and those on YouTube to see the banner of what you're looking at today. So when it comes to the flag of Sierra Leone, is three horizontal bars of green, white at the center, green at the top, white at the center, and blue at the bottom of that flag. Now, the capital of Sierra Leone is Freetown. I know you know, I assume you know, why the capital of Sierra Leone is called Freetown. Because this nation was formed by the place whereby there was a freedom, those that was brought from slaves that were brought all the way from Americas to this particular area. So the Portuguese calling Sierra Leone, and is from the Sierra Leone is from the Sierra Leone, which is Portuguese for Lioness Mountains. That's where the name Sierra Leone got its name. That's the etymology from the Lioness Mountains, which is Portuguese in 1462 by the explorer, calling it the Lioness Mountains. So based on that, so these actually are people that have lived in that particular area from 2,500 years of freedom. People who have lived. Welcome to the Mentors Show. We are looking at mapping Africa's natural resources and focusing on Sierra Leone today, nation number 43. So we are doing the rundown to the last nation we are looking at. So this particular nation of Sierra Leone is the official language is English and the Creole. English and Creole is the official language of this particular nation. Yeah, so English and Creole is the official language of Sierra Leone. And when it comes to the ethnic minority, the makeup of the people that are in this particular country, 35.5% are the Mende people, 33.2% are the Temne people, 6.4 6.4% are the Limba people, 4.4 are the Kono people. Thank you, Ash Wicks, for the invite and follow. Kono people, 3.4 are the Fula people, 2.9 are the Susu people, 2.9% are the Local people, 2.8% are the Koranko, 2.6 are the Shebro, 2.4% are the Mandingo, and 1.3% are the Creole that make up this country called Sierra Leone. When it comes to the aspect of religion, 78% are Islam and Muslims, and 21% are Christians, while other religion are just 1%. Other religion are just 1%. Now, so if you are from Sierra Leone, the denonym of how you are called is that you are a Sierra Leonean. You are a Sierra Leonean. Now, of course, the government, they have a unitary government, and the current president is Julius Maada Bio, and the vice president, Mohamed Julde Jallo. The chief minister is David Senge, and Speaker of Parliament, Abbas Chernobundu. They have a parliament they got their independence. They got their independence in 1961. 27th of April 1961 was where Sierra Leone got its independence. Got their independence in 1961, and they became a republic on the 19th of April 1971. So, like I mentioned earlier, the total area, the land mass of the country is 71,740 kilometers, which is about 27,700 square miles. And when it comes to the water mass, land mass in the country and land is 1.1%. So I've told you about the population. The population in 2023 is 8,908,040, and that makes it the 100th nation as regards population in the world. So the GDP of this nation, the total GDP as of 2024 is $18,942 billion, making it the 154th in the world, and the per capita is $2,189, making it 177th in the world. So the currency, they have the Leone as the currency of this nation. That's the currency of this nation. Now, when we say we are mapping Africa's natural resources, the question is, what are the resources that are available in Sierra Leone? What are the resources that are available? The natural resources that are available. And don't forget, these natural resources are opportunities for investments. Like, this show is not a business show. It's not an economic, a financial advisory show. No, it's just to provide information, provide you education, and helping you to know more about the world we live in. There are quite, like you'll agree, there are quite a lot of things that we might not know about the world that we live in, and it's good to know some of things that exist in other areas. Now, when it comes to natural resources, this particular country, Sierra Leone, I know what most of you might remember is the film, The Blood Diamond, isn't it? The Blood Diamond. So Sierra Leone is known for mineral resources, of course, including minerals, fisheries, and hydropower. But when it comes to the natural resources, Sierra Leone is endowed with diamonds, is endowed with rutile, is endowed with bauxite, with gold, with iron ore, with limonite, with platinum, with chromite, with coltan, with tantalite, with columbite, with zircon, as well as promising petroleum potential. So this is a nation that has quite a lot of endowed natural resources that are needed and useful for the development of the particular nation. So again, they have also a large deposit of iron ore, diamonds, which I've mentioned earlier, and bauxite. So this nation has a lot of. So, but the question you might be asking, which we've seen in some of the nations we've looked at in the continent of Africa, is if a nation is so endowed, why are there still challenges in the nation? Or why are there still poverty, if you like to use the word, in the nation? And that's the challenge. And that's why we are having this show, bringing to your knowledge the challenges that exist. I can call it the word, the opportunities that exist for you to step forward to be a change in this particular country. Like I've mentioned severally on this show, the solution to the problems of Africa is you. If you are an African, if you are a citizen of Africa, you are the solution to the problem of Africa. And that's why I keep asking that question. Have you discovered the reason why you exist? Have you discovered the reason why you exist? Because you exist to solve a particular problem. And for us, we exist to solve the problem of ignorance and to bring knowledge and to bring education and to bring information to you, to help you to know about all this and step forward to bring a change in the continent of Africa. So that's the what I entail. Now, this particular country of Sierra Leone also. So this particular country of Sierra Leone, so there are opportunities, like I mentioned to you, the reason for this show, there are opportunities of trade, mineral exports, but based on my research, when you're talking about mining and bringing out minerals from the country, the question is, how are you going to tackle the environmental degradation that happens? And these are the issues. These are the issues that we are bringing to the fore. There must be a way, if you're going to be looking for resources from the country or from any country, there must be a way in bringing about sustainability, environmental sustainability, to ensure that the environment is not depleted and left very. If you go to some countries, and the whole place has been dug out and everything left and nothing again. So there is no that intergenerational equity. What's going to be available for the future, those children coming in the future of this particular nation. So don't forget again, today we are looking at Sierra Leone. We are looking at Sierra Leone, nation number 43 on the list. We'll be looking at the countries on the continent of Africa from number 1, and now we are on number 43. So we are looking at Sierra Leone. Now, when it comes to Sierra Leone's education system, this particular nation has, like some other nations in Africa, it has the 6344 system. 6 years in primary school, 3 years of junior secondary school, and 3 years of senior secondary school, and of course 4 years of tertiary education. So education is legally required for all children for the first 6 years. But the lack of school and teachers has made it difficult to implement. So those are part of the challenges. How do we, if you are a teacher or you are an educationist, how do we mass produce teachers that would educate these children? And don't forget, I told you about the population of Sierra Leone. In the Africa as a whole is a very young continent. What do we mean by that? By the fact that more than 65% of Africa are under the age of 25, as opposed to other parts of the world. So it's a very young continent. And these young people need to be taught, need to be schooled. And now there are shortages of teachers, lack of schools. There must be new inventions, new ways of educating the children of Africa. And if you're on this show tonight, or you're watching a replay of this show, you are part of the solution. You are part of the solution. That's why we say, have you discovered why you were born? Have you discovered the purpose of your existence? This is extremely important. So as of 2022, UNICEF reported that only 8% of the third graders in Sierra Leone could read a simple text. You see, only 8% of the third graders could read a simple text, which could hinder their learning and growth for the rest of their lives. And that tells you the challenge that exists in this country when it comes to the issue of the literacy rate in Sierra Leone. The literacy rate in Sierra Leone is 47% of the adult population. 47% are literate. That tells you the burden, the challenge. And you know, there cannot be development or advancement without literacy, without education. And that is why it's important that everyone on the continent of Africa are able to read and able to write. They are able to read and able to write. Now, when it comes to the adult population, it might increase more to 58%. So the one I gave you earlier is 15 years and above. But when it comes to the adult population, it increases to 58.74%. But that is still abysmal when it comes to other parts of Africa. No, not other parts of the world. I think on this continent, was it Seychelles, if I remember, that had 90-something%, and I remember vividly also Cape Verde also have a very high rate of literacy rate. It's important that people know how to read and write on the continent of Africa. And that's why every young person needs to step forward to be able to stand counted to tackle the challenge of this. Now, when it comes to health issues on the continent, that is in this country, what's the healthcare situation like? In Sierra Leone, the healthcare is rated as very poor, with high infant and maternal mortality rate. In other words, when women get pregnant, the assurance that they're going to carry the child to term is not there. The assurance that they're going to actually deliver the baby is not there. There's a high rate of infant and maternal mortality, women dying through pregnancy. There's a lack of medical staff and equipment. These are opportunities for setting up of hospitals and also medical equipment production. There are only about 4 doctors for 100,000 people. 4 doctors for 100,000 people. So, a lot of work to be done. So for those who are listening to this show, who are medical people, you are part of the solution. How can we provide more health opportunities for people in Sierra Leone? And if you say, oh, I'm not for Sierra Leone, look at the nation you come from. Look at the nation you come from. The challenge is across the continent, and there's a need to be able to provide basic health for everyone on the continent of Africa. And that is the reason why, with that abysmal health situation, the life expectancy in Sierra Leone is 60.06 as of 2021. So it means in Sierra Leone, you can only live hopefully up to 60 years, and a little bit some months over 60 years. Whereas compared to other parts of the world, people are living up to 80, 70, 75, 80. People are living up to 90. I saw a lady yesterday who is 88 here in the West. So it all boils down to economic development, good health care facilities, which needs to be provided. And these are opportunities, like I mentioned to you. They are not problems, they are opportunities for advancement in this particular nation. All right, let's look at agricultural sector in Sierra Leone. So like you know, Sierra Leone is a humid and with fertile soil, an average of 3,800 mm of rainfall per year. It supports a wide range of agricultural products, which they do, they farm. They have crops like rice, cassava, and other important crops like granules, sweet potato and maize are popular in this country. So rice is the most important staple in this country, with 85% of the farmers cultivating it during the rainy season. And interestingly enough, this country also, this kind of farming is still subsistence farming. It's not mechanized farming. And you see, Africa cannot develop until we have mechanized farming. What do you know what I mean, the mechanized farming? In which we have huge tractors, we have huge machinery helping to work on large land and producing large crop for the people in the continent. And that's why we need young people to invent, or if not invent, to create. We've had a guest on this show in Nigeria, Plateau State, who is creating tractors and cars and agricultural product, things that will help in agriculture. So we need a mass, I want to say mass production, we need a massive number of young people who have interest in creating, like we have Elon Musk creating vehicles, electric vehicles. We need more young people interested in manufacturing of agricultural equipment. It is when these things are also manufactured in Africa that there will be a lot of income to the particular countries that put them, or the continent as a whole. So there is a lot of opportunities because of the subsistence farm, like I mentioned earlier. There's low productivity in the agricultural sector, and this is a great opportunity. Like I mentioned to you, these are opportunities. So we have looked at, today we've looked at nation number 43. Nation number 43. And we have considered Sierra Leone. And we have said a lot of opportunities are there for this nation of Sierra Leone. A lot of opportunities. So if you have a young person, or we are from any part of Africa, you are the solution. Step forward and be counted. Are you going to help in the area of health? We need medicines. In the area of agriculture, we need help. You're welcome. So in medicines, we need pharmacies to create new medicines, do research and create new medicines for solution in Sierra Leone or the continent of Africa. We need people to create machineries that we use for industrial agriculture. We need educationists. Education, like we saw in Sierra Leone, education, there are no schools and there are no teachers. We need educationists who would come up with new ideas of how to educate the young people in Sierra Leone or on the continent or the nation, wherever you come from. So when it comes to, you could see the life expectancy is low, literacy rate is low, despite the abundance of mineral resources that could be used to bring, like I mentioned earlier, you've watched the film Blood Diamond. So imagine having a lot of mineral resources, and in the midst of that is a high rate of squalor, of poverty. And that again goes to the point. There's a need for a new crop of leadership on the continent of Africa. And that is the reason why we do, I started the program, Project 50 Pentagon, which we are empowering young leaders on the continent of Africa. So come alongside with us. Join us in creating, in that Project 50 Pentagon, we've been mentoring and equipping these young people with leadership acumen for them to be able to be the solution to the problems on the continent of Africa. So thank you very much for your time today. For those of you who have been with us, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure being with you. I will see you again next week by God's grace. Next week, Tuesday. We come your way every Tuesday to look at how can we make Africa better. How can we make our nation better? Or how can we make you as an individual better? So I'll see you again next week by the grace of God. Thank you very much for your time. Bye for now. Bye.